First things first, is there any more social media direct messages that need to be exchanged? Anything that we need to be made aware of?
Not as far as I know.
What did you think of that whole scenario with her kind of posting? Did you consider it like a private message?
I was fine. It was okay that she posted it. I don't mind that sort of thing. But, I mean, I was worried for a while that she hadn't seen the message because she never replied to me. So, I mean, that would have been nice, but whatever.
No doubt. Well, have you gotten any updates on the weight cut? I mean, I know that was your concern, right, is her weight cut. So have you been able to check in with her or find anything out from the staff here?
I'll say that our weight cut is a concern. You know, I don't want to call her out because she has not missed weight at flyweight, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But just in case, you know, it's good to give somebody a heads up, and I'm still going to cut weight at my coach's house, and hopefully she's gotten it taken care of.
And I don't want to focus only on weight, but your last 2 losses have come against opponents that have cut weight, right? So that had missed weight, I should say. So, I mean, has that made you bitter at all, or made you, think about your philosophy? Or?
I'm actually very bitter about that. Like, as a fighter, I mean, I fought in open weight classes before. I won the K Grace open weight tournament one night in Japan, so I don't want to say that I lost because, of the weight thing. As a fighter, I'm not sure. It sucks, but man, like, people who miss weight and then beat me go up in the rankings. They get more opportunities. Like, hey, it's not easy for me to make weight either. Like, I would love to be eating ice cream. Like, I have to work really hard to make weight. So when somebody else doesn't make it, it's like, come on. Like, I just dieted so hard. Like, I have a good lifestyle just to be on weight, like, hey, please. Like, so I'm a little bitter about it.
Does it give pause? Because I wonder, I mean, it seems like it's almost a given. Like, when people miss weight, it's like, 20% and move on. But you don't have to accept that fight. I mean, is it difficult as a fighter to step back and say, like, why do we not see that more often where opponents just go, you know what, you didn't make weight, I'm not fighting you?
Yeah, I think we don't see that as much because then we don't get to fight. I've been training for so long. I've been waiting like 6 months to get a fight. Like, my last fight was July, so I really want to fight. I need to fight. I'm not getting any younger. So, I want to take the fight. My coaches tell me they might not let me take the fight if someone else misses weight, but so it's that.
No doubt. All right, well, let's quit talking about weight. Let's talk about the fight. I mean, you've been in this game for a long time, I think 16 years as a professional. Now you're fighting on ESPN. It's a Conor McGregor card, which always brings more eyeballs. First time in T-Mobile Arena, right? I mean, you fought in Vegas, but never in the big building before. So, I mean, do things like this excite you outside of just, the normal realm of fighting?
Yes and no. Not at first, but now I'm kind of getting excited about it. I mean, I remember when I fought in Madison Square Garden and my entrance music like reverberated throughout the whole stadium. That was cool. So now I'm thinking like, man, that'll happen in the T-Mobile. Like, on the day of, I can't let myself get too distracted on that. But like, now before the fight, I can allow myself to get excited thinking about it.
Like you said, you've been in this game for a long time. Do you think fighters sometimes don't maybe take the moments that they should to soak that in, or is it even possible to let yourself step outside and soak it in?
I can't really on the day of the fight. Like, I just have to focus and try to block it all out, which is a shame, but
yeah,
I got to do it mentally.
So they come to you with the name Maycee Barber. She's the hot new commodity in the division or whatever, but what did you know about her? I mean, had you watched much of her tape? Were you aware of her as an up-and-coming prospect? What did you know about her?
I've seen her fight a few times, and I was really impressed with her ability to get the job done. Kind of like me in a way, where like my striking hasn't been the most beautiful thing in the world, but I get the job done, right? And she's tough. I think she can still develop a lot as a fighter and technique-wise, but she's strong and she gets the job done, so that's cool. Yeah. So I was kind of surprised, but not surprised when they offered her to me, and I thought, cool, let's do it.
When you look at somebody that's that young, I mean, do you, like I said, maybe she'll have some physical advantages, I don't know, but do you think about like what experience means and like how different it is between she's just getting started? So I've been training martial arts longer than she's been alive, like 23 years, because I started Taekwondo when I was like 13, right? But, what if she was training since she was like 4? Because, I teach jiu-jitsu to kids who are 4 and 5. So, I mean, I'm not going to underestimate that at all. Makes sense. Do you feel you're an underdog here, and I know you're used to being
always the underdog.
You're always the underdog.
Seriously, there's a statistic that there's only one time in my career where I was not the underdog.
Did you win that fight? Do you remember?
I did.
Okay, well, I had the favorite right. Well, I'm curious. What I wonder is if it feels similar to like the Valentina Shevchenko fight. That to me is what this reminds me of a lot.
It does, yeah.
So do you take any strength
out? And the same result will happen.
That's what I was saying. Do you take any strength out of that, knowing like in that one everybody's like, oh, she has no chance here?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm just going to do my thing, and I'm excited for it.
What are your expectations for this fight? I mean, she has shown a penchant for finishing fights. She's seems to be very physically gifted. I mean, are you expecting to go out there and have like this grueling physical battle, or do you think, you know, this is something where maybe technique, grappling, jiu-jitsu? What do you feel?
Man, fights never happen as I expect. Life never happens as you expect, right? Like, I can imagine 1,000 different scenarios, and none of them are going to come true. And I think one thing that is different between this fight and my last fight is that in my last fight, I had like one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to get like a body lock and take her down and elbow her head. So I kind of got fixated on that, and when that plan didn't work, I kind of just kept doing it. But in this fight, there's so many things that I want to do that I think my brain, like mentally, I think I'm really in a good place where I'm going to be able to flow from different things. Like, I've been training, fighting a southpaw and orthodox, because who knows what she's going to come out as. So I feel really good about this fight.
So you go out there, you get the upset, you get the win. Do you want some respect to your name, or do you want to be the underdog the rest of your career?
Do I look scary? I think I'll always be the underdog, and that's fine as long as I stay in the top 10, you know, prove that what I already know, that I'm still relevant, you know, keep getting stronger and do well.